So we started to do this project called the Enlace Project, Engaging Latinos in Community Education. This was funded by the Kellogg Foundation. And it was the first foundation to actually say, we're going to give money to see if we can educate Latinos and how we can do it. First fund, and they caught a lot of flack across the country, and guess what? They did it anyway. So my hat's off to them. How did this occur for me? I was part of the Ford Foundation project. I was doing this research project. And let me tell you how it happened. I was in a room of administrators just like this. And they were telling me, you know what? Our scores are too low for students. We need to get better students. ACTs 26, 23, 30, 33. And I'm sitting there, and they're going, and if we do that, our college and our university will go up higher. And I'm sitting there listening, and I go, what are you doing? And they go, we can't have any more at-risk students. And that was it. Folks, I was one of those at-risk students. That's me. Yes, you're looking at them. And so I spoke up and said, the reason we use the word at risk, because we want to objectify and move away and distance ourselves from those students we believe will not be successful. These students are at potential. They're at promise. Maybe the at-risk people are the administrators and the college professors that train those to go teach your children. Of course, I was attacked. And that's fine. It's not the first time, so I'm kind of used to it. And so they said, well, if you think you can do something about this, fine. So I said, fine. I'll develop a project to work with students. And I called it the Academic Cultural Competence Teaching Model. I learned from interviewing all the students what they liked, what they didn't like. And you know what's fascinating? The students have an underground market as to tell you which professors they like, which ones will help you, and which ones don't. So if you want to know, ask the students. Don't go to the registrar's office. They just give you a list. They'll tell you, hey, man, go see so-and-so. Órale, go see so-and-so. Hey, aquí te ayuda. They know. They know. And so from the Ford Foundation project, one of the, Roberto Ibarra was there, and he wrote the book, A Multicontextuality in the Classroom, and Affirmative Action. So he goes, I'm going to fund your project. He was part of the Ford Foundation. He said, I'll give you $50,000 for this semester. For the year. And I go, sure. So I brought in these students. I refused to take students that had above a 17 ACT, so the average is 15 ACT. This is what I had developed, and it's in your handout, so I'll go quickly over it. But this is what we did. We developed, our students need to have class. You know what class is? A collaborative learning and student success environment. It's called cooperative learning. These students need to have a culture of their own that said, I am academically excellent. They have to not feel like they're guests in somebody else's house. I don't want to have to ask permission to open that refrigerator. My students did not either. And most of these students were Latinos. I had some Native Americans, a few African Americans, brought them all together. And these students were like, why, are we in this class because we're remedial? I go, no, you're in this class because you're in the curriculum that's called ACE, Academic Curriculum for Excellence. I believe in your promise. I believe in your potential. And White treated them that way. So they had to do everything in groups. And it was fascinating. At first, they're like, oh, man, I don't want to get, wow, we got to. And then we taught them how to do group presentations. They got to the point where they were actually called each other up to make sure that they would attend class together. That's how close that cohort became. Then we decided they got to stay on task, teaching academic skills and knowledge. What do? We assess every student's learning modalities to see. Guess what? 84% of the students I had came out kinesthetic learners. Over 90% of the instructors are oral and visual learners. There's a complete mismatch. So we started teaching about their own learning modality, how to use it, and then we even assessed their parents. That was a trip, let me tell you. When the parents found out, oh, you mean I'm not stupid? I can learn by doing? Yes. And we actually taught parents how to work with their students. And then what occurred is as the students became more knowledgeable, we still had to teach them about the oral and visual ways of learning because we realized the system was not going to change overnight. And we realized because of the challenges of teaching that our teachers have, we had to teach our students how to learn in such environments. Last but not least, our students need to have some kicks. You know what kicks are? Knowledge and interpersonal communication skills. We had to teach them how to go from context to context. When I go home to my barrio, I say, órale, ¿cómo estás? Siéntate, ¿cómo va la cosa? Dame una cheve. Okay, cool. Okay. When I'm in the classroom, I go, okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's get started today. We're going to talk about the theoretical concepts as they relate to cultural diversity. Let's talk about them. Let's demonstrate them. Let's simulate them. When I have to talk to the president of the university, President Martin, how are you today? You know, due to the expenditures that the overruns and so forth, I do need your support to help support some of these programs. And so learning how to go from context to context, how to teach students to become their own advocates and reach their own voice. From this project, we took it to the Enlace, inculcated it throughout the whole Enlace project in southern New Mexico, and we also started parent centers. Parents, because of No Child Left Behind, I know I'm not going to be popular here, but I'm going to say it anyway. Because of No Child Left Behind, none of our teacher aides had associate's degrees, and you need to be certified as an associate degree. So what happened is they all lost their jobs. So I said, no. I talked to Superintendent Cynthia Nava, who's also Senator Nava. She's a new superintendent. We talked her into having all of these teacher aides became what I call parent outreach ambassadors. We started parent centers in each of the schools. They each got to keep their job, and they started to work with parent to parent. So when your kid wasn't showing up for school, they would go like this. Hello, yeah, your kid wasn't in school today. We'd like to help you out, and what can we do for you? And for once, our retention's gone up, and our parents now are attending parent-teacher meetings, parents interpreting for parents, parents translating for parents. Can it be done? Yes. No more excuses, folks. We have the ability and we have the knowledge. Let's move forward. Thank you.